Chatters, what is good? Today we are finally listening to Demi Lovato's new album, It's Not That Deep. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of intrigued by this one. I wasn't sure if Demi Lovato was still making music and whatnot, and I know she went through some in different stages of her life, and I just didn't think music was a part of her future plans, really, from what I had heard. But here we are. So I'm excited to see. I mean, and Demi Lovato definitely has some certified classics. We know that. Cool for the Summer. Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on Cool for the Summer. That song is a really good pop song. Really, really good pop song. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what this is about. I like the album cover a lot too. And yeah, I think Demi Lovato is a pretty good artist. Pretty good artist. Ooh, give your heart a break. Oh yeah, yeah. Right after Camp Rock era. Ooh, that song was fire. But anyways, if you guys do enjoy this reaction, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me grow. And if you guys want more Demi Lovato or have any other recommendations, please do let me know in the comments. But yeah, anyways, we're just gonna get straight into Demi Lovato with no further ado, because like I said, I'm intrigued and I'm a little excited. And I stream all of these reactions over my Twitch, by the way. My socials are up here. But yeah, anyways, song 1, Fast. Okay.
I'm not so sure I've ever felt like this before. I can't deny it feels so right.
Okay. I like the instrumental.
I must confess, already got me so obsessed.
She sounds different too.
Is that alright? Is that alright? 'Cause baby, honestly, I
That
just
sounds like
wanna
her.
feel your hands all over me, right where they wanna be, even if it's only for tonight. I wanna go fast, I wanna go hard, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are. No
Okay.
matter how close, no matter how far, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are. I wanna go fast, I wanna go hard, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are. No matter how close, no matter how far, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are.
Okay.
May I suggest we go somewhere a little less full of ice? Don't be shy, 'cause baby, honestly, I just wanna feel your hands all over me.
Damn.
Right where they wanna be, even if it's only for tonight. I wanna go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast, I wanna go fast, I wanna go hard, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are. No matter how close, no matter how far, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are. I wanna go fast,
Okay.
go hard, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are. No matter how close, no matter how far, I wanna go anywhere, anywhere you are.
Okay, give Demi a round of applause. Okay. Huh. Fast. Before I started recording and whatnot, before we started this whole process, I saw that song had more streams than the other songs. I'm assuming that was a single, or it obviously was. I'm surprised I haven't heard that yet. I like that song a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of super fast paced. but kind of simplistic at the same time. I mean, the lyrics didn't were a little repetitive, and that's not a bad thing. I like that song a lot. I Yeah, that just threw me through a little loop. To be honest, I was not really expecting that from Demi off the rip. And it's not what I'm used to usually hearing from her. It's kind of it gives me like a little bit of the that it gives me vibes from Addison Rae's album, or is it EP? Um, her project where she started out with New York and it kind of sounded completely different from what you have heard from Addison Rae, and then it kind of gets more into the pop soundy songs. Um, and that I mean that's just what that reminds me of. That's kind of the feeling I feel like we're gonna go through, the kind of route. Um, but it was a good song. And it has me really intrigued now because if she keeps up with that, that's something I haven't heard before. If she, goes down, that kind of pop route that we're familiar with her. Either way, I won't be mad. That's just kind of what I'm getting at. But that was just kind of reminiscent to me of Addison by Addison Rae a little bit, the start at least. Um, but yeah, fast. And I'm surprised, like I said, I'm surprised I haven't heard that before. I feel like that song should be big on TikTok. It's just super upbeat, gets your head bumping without you even realizing, you're just kind of moving with it. Yeah, that was good. That was really good. But anyways, song two, Here All Night. Whoa, okay.
It was never safe for work, no, it was never platonic. Yeah, we could make any ordinary location erotic. Like counters and
Okay.
elevators, turning on all the neighbors, amateur movie makers. November 22nd, you just never responded. You didn't give an explanation, didn't care I was calling. Like you never see me naked. Said we should go to Vegas. Damn, I'm so devastated. But this song is awesome.
Okay. Okay.
I might go psychotic. But
Okay.
if I'm never better, never put back together, I'll turn the pain to pleasure. I could stay here forever.
I like the ad-libs. Know you.
The bass till it's hitting me right. Sweating on the dance floor under the lights to get over you.
Damn.
I'll be here all night, playing my heart so I don't start to cry. DJ's working late, she's helping me try to get over you. I'll be here all night, getting over you. Getting over you. I'll be here all night.
Okay. Okay. I mean, she paints the scene for us very well here, right? This is kind of that club banger where, she kind of realized that her relationship is coming to a sudden halt. And I mean, she uses this kind of dance sound as an expressive way to kind of, heal, and move on from this relationship. And she's obviously alluding to the fact that, this is like a hard and struggling process for her. And I mean, she'll be dancing all night to kind of get over this person. Um, and I mean, sonically, the song sounds great. She kind of is with this upbeat dance kind of pop like mixture with a little bit of those like electronic elements. And I'm intrigued. I'm actually very intrigued. Demi Lovato was throwing me through a loop here because this is just not what I've heard, not what I'm expecting. Was expecting. And it's really good. It's really good, and I'm not gonna lie. This has me shocked. Because like I said, I know she took a little hiatus from music. I know she took a little break, and now she's back. I remember seeing her in the headlines all the time for something new. Every year. And there were some indifferent things. I'm not trying to bash anyone, obviously. I just know there's an issue with like drug abuse, right? Maybe I'm just chatting when I say that. Maybe it wasn't abuse necessarily, but like just struggling with that kind of thing. And so it's nice to see her back. I mean, she was a prominent figure in my childhood. To be honest, I was all over Camp Rock. Oh my gosh. And I think I had a crush on her, to be honest, from that movie. Ooh, who else? It was that one girl that was playing the piano, but she was on the other team, and it was one of the Jonas Brothers who liked her. I had a crush on her. But yeah, no, it's nice to see that Demi Lovato's back and still making music that I actually find myself liking. And yeah, this song is no different from the last. It's very upbeat, very kind of fast paced. Just has me smiling, my head bumping. Yeah, she's really throwing me through a loop here. I was not really expecting this for, her return album, after how many years. But it's good nonetheless. It's not that deep. It's actually hit me pretty deep. Song 3, Frequency. Okay.
Walking in, aura so opulent. Nowhere she's confidence. Up the vibe. Buck up the vibe. Buck up the vibe. Buck up the vibe. Buck up the vibe.
Wow. Okay, Demi. Who you feeling like? What was that song even called? Hold up. Sorry. Frequency. Oh, right. Okay, Frequency. Damn, Demi. Who are you feeling like? Who are you feeling like? Yeah, this kind of funk, dance, little house, electronic pop, whatever she's got going on, I'm really enjoying it. I cannot lie. It's fresh. It's something I haven't heard. It's something I wasn't expecting. It's something just, that kind of threw me through a loop. I know I've said this 80 times already, but it really has thrown me through a loop, and it's good. This is what I like to hear from you, Demi. She's really messing up the vibe, like she said, but not in a bad way. She's just kind of throwing it through a loop, throwing a little curveball at me. But yeah, Frequency. I don't know. There's just, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I've not ever listened to a Demi Lovato like full album, to be honest. But this is new for me. It's just different, and it just sounds like, I feel like I'm having a lot of fun. I can only imagine what the studio sessions, of her making these, kind of sounds. How fun that was for her, because like I mean, I think this is totally different for her. Because I feel like it also kind of lays off that. It also kind of is reminiscent, and she kind of alludes to her own lifestyle. It is a little different. It is like this kind of upbeat, fun, funk, fresh kind of thing. It's just, I feel like it's very her as well, all at the same time. 'Cause she's lived a life. She really has. Disney star to, kind of the Miley Cyrus route a little bit. Just in obviously their own respective, own different ways, but that's just the best thing I can allude to be honest. And yeah, it just seems like this is a lot of fun. And if I was like making something like this, when I made not generic pop songs, but just the typical kind of pop sounding songs, and I went and did something like this, I know I would be having a blast. And so I can only imagine what this was like. Maybe I'm just speaking when I say that, but that's just how I feel, to be honest. This has been good so far, and we're only 3 songs in. But yeah. Anyways, let's get to song 4, Let You Go. Also, I'm gonna go grab my water real quick. Stay right here.
If you want, you can tell everyone I'm no problem.
Left it on my. Okay.
But I won't sit and watch while you sing to
Okay.
I'll be there if you get sick of playing the victim. And I swear we can talk when you're ready to listen. And it kills me knowing what it was and what it will be. Maybe we'll be better as a memory, even if it means that you'll forget me. I think I need to let you go, to let you go. I think I need to let you go, to let you go. It doesn't have to be forever, but it has to be right now, right now. Ooh. I think I need to let you go, to let you
Okay. Production's very good too. I haven't really spoken on that. I love just the whole scene we saw. That didn't sound right, did it? The whole scene we saw. I guess the scene we've seen kind of like sounds weird too, but it's right, I suppose. Um, the scene we've seen. Okay. Yeah, I like this. I feel like with these kind of albums, where it's like kind of upbeat, a little bit electronic, just the whole what we've heard so far, it's really kind of easy to listen to these songs and kind of just nod your head and be like, oh yeah, this is good, but not really think into the lyrics. I mean, so far she's portrayed, some heavy, heartfelt emotions. And like I said, I think it's easy to kind of really bypass that and just, not think about it because you're hearing all these fast-paced sounds, this and that, stuff that doesn't really normally encapsulate, some heavy emotions. But this has it, it gives me not brat vibes, but like it gives me brat vibes in that sense. Like I don't think it sounds like it, but like in the sense of like, yeah, like you hear these super fast-paced beats, it's all over the place. It's easy to kind of not realize what else, like what she is saying. And so yeah, I think that's kind of the most heartfelt song we've heard so far. I mean, maybe besides yeah, I mean maybe it is. I was gonna say besides Here All Night, where she's at the club all night. Uh but yeah, I mean it really is, her kind of projecting those emotions. I mean, she literally started like with, if you want, you can tell everyone I'm the problem, and I won't sit here and stand and wait while you sink to the very bottom. Um, talking about these distant memories, but it just sounds so fun, so upbeat, so fast paced that, you know, I know before I kind of started my channel and whatnot, if I would have heard that and, I was just listening, um, I wouldn't really capture it as well. I feel like with my channel, I've only learned to, kind of realize everything that, is being said and appreciate the music more. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's hard to kind of see it for what it is. Um, but nonetheless, sonically, it sounds great. The production's really good. I haven't really talked about that much. I like it. I was kind of just intrigued by the whole route she was going. But let you go, let you go. Um, she's not. These songs aren't too long. I wish they kind of were. I wish they were a little bit longer. Like that song could have used like another like 32 seconds, 38 seconds. Um, obviously I'm not the music maker and I don't know what sounds good. I have no clue to be honest. But that's just like my own personal like want. Like I wish. That's literally my only complaint so far. This has been really good, really fun. And it's relatable too. There's some emotions and themes she's portraying that are really relatable. So that always helps me kind of appreciate the music more. Um, but yeah. Anyways, let's get straight into song 5. Sorry to Myself.
I could point fingers at
Okay.
everyone else, but sooner or later it lands on myself. My mistakes have made mistakes of their own.
Okay. Okay, Demi.
Doubling down like it's second nature. I'll be true to it. I was my favorite hater, but I'm tired. Now I'm flirting with hope.
Okay.
I was the king of pain. I always found a new way to complain. And they say, when you're gonna change, honey, when you're gonna face it, why you gonna waste it? I'm sorry to myself for lying in the mirror, saying, oh, this is love. For lying in the mirror, pouring salt in the cut. I'm sorry to myself for doing your number, saying no tough enough, for buying what you sell. I'm sorry to myself. It's funny how the world looks in a pink cloud. I'm glowing from the inside and laughing out loud when the rain hits.
Okay.
Yeah, don't forget this. I was the king of pain. I always found a new way to complain. And they say, when you're gonna change, honey, when you're gonna face it, why you gonna waste it? I'm sorry to myself for lying in the mirror, saying, oh, this is love. For lying in the mirror, pouring salt in the cut.
Okay.
Sorry to myself for doing a number, saying no tough enough, for buying what you sell. I'm sorry to myself. Sorry for the starving.
Okay.
Sorry for the burnout. Sorry for that one ex who always broke me down. Sorry
Aw.
for the hurting, but love how it turned out.
Damn. I like that. Damn, Demi. Damn, this one kind of put me in my own head a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Damn, that ended abruptly. Could have gave me a second. Sorry to myself. I'm not gonna lie. I think that might be my favorite song so far. That one, it just lands kind of in the whole same similar theme of it all. Sonically, and a little bit with the others, but that one was just self-reflection, kind of wrapped into that dance pop shell we've heard so far. Because yes, there's still some. I mean, this is pretty depth song. I know the album's literally called "It's Not That Deep," but it is that deep. Like, she's really portraying herself and putting her heart on her sleeve. And she's kind of saying that this doesn't have to drag you down. You can reflect and still rise. I mean, yeah, this is something pretty much, everyone can relate to. We all have these kind of thoughts of insecurity, self-doubt, this and that, whatever it may be. But even, big celebrities like Demi Lovato experience the same thing. We're all human at the end of the day. This is just, human life. And, it's good that we're sorry for ourselves in a way, not in like an overbearing way, in the sense that like it can affect us. Like, how do I mean that? It's like, being too like soft with yourself. Like, is that the right word? Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like being too sorry for yourself, or you feel like you're kind of in this like victim mentality. I feel like she's kind of portraying not a victim mentality, but she's sorry to herself for the nights of burnout, the nights of this and that, self doubt, whatever it may be. I mean, obviously everyone kind of reflects the music their own way, but my how I kind of took that is I'm sorry to myself for getting caught up on the little things. That's just my own personal mix into it. That's how I relate. Um, but yeah, that song was probably my favorite so far. By all, yeah, I mean, Up and Away was my favorite. I don't think sonically it was better, but that's something I kind of related to the most, and I kind of, I mean, it just put me in my own head while and I still like the sound. I still like, um, yeah, it just kind of, like I said, put me in my own head while it still had that same upbeat dance fun nature to it, but also has those thought provoking moments where you can really relate. So yeah, those are my kind of favorite songs, and that by all means, kind of fit those descriptions for me. But anyways, song 6, a little bit. Okay.
Don't need to read your mind, your body just said it. I was up so high, but what if we let him fall?
Okay.
Maybe they're in the way of something incredible. Baby, let's find out right now. I can't hold it in. Now that we're alone again. So instead of stopping it, we should do the opposite. What if we talk a little bit, touch a little bit, move a little bit, just a little bit, kiss a little bit, undress a little bit, say you're over it, not even a little bit.
Okay.
Don't need to speak my mind, you already got it right.
Okay.
It's no coincidence, we're perfectly intertwined. Maybe we're one and done, or maybe I'll hit it twice. Baby, let's find out right now. I can't hold it in. Now that we're alone again. So instead of stopping it, we should do the opposite. What if we talk a little bit, touch a little bit, move a little bit, just a little bit, kiss a little bit, undress a little bit, say you're over it, not even a little bit. Talk a little bit, touch a little bit, move a little bit, just a little bit, kiss a little bit, undress a little bit, say you're over it, not even a little bit.
Okay. See, I like that song, but I didn't like it as much as the last few, just because I feel like that one is missing a little more depth that we have seen, and I feel like it's hard coming off, a song as strong as the past few. Which I mean doesn't. I mean, if I was listening to this on its own, like it just randomly came up on the radio, I'd be, oh yeah, like this is good. Um, I just feel bad because, like I said, Sorry to Myself is probably my favorite song so far, or it is. And it came, little bit came after that. So I feel like I don't appreciate it as much, and I feel like it was lacking a little more depth, in those heartfelt moments. It's still, like, it's true to the album, on pace with the album, but it was also a little short, so maybe that does have to do with it. I think that was just over 2 minutes, and, it didn't start right away, and, it kind of ended, repeating the hook. So it is a little shorter, so maybe that is a part of it. But by all means, I am impressed by Demi Lovato. I really am. A little bit. I mean, we're halfway through, and it just adding on to kind of how the album's building. Um, it's it's pretty good. It's pretty good so far. You know, that song to me a little bit kind of sounds like a hint of something, like maybe a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of possibility. You like what I did there with the title, but yeah, it's this one to me was just kind of keeping my ears open to the music, keeping my head and my body moving, right? Um, I feel like that song just kind of builds to where the album is going, and it's not necessarily like the up and away best. Um, but yeah, by all means, it wasn't bad. It's just missing that kind of personal moment that I enjoyed seeing throughout this album so far, and just what I like in music in general. But not bad by any means. Just not my absolute favorite of the bunch so far. But anyways, song 7, say it. Ooh, a little piano ballad.
You know how I tend to overthink 1,000 things. I think I'm doing it again.
Okay.
Every now and then I need a little reassurance, even though you never left. So don't you make me read your mind. Open your lips and press rewind. I wanna feel your body closer while you tell me one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, I already know. I know that you love me, I know. But I like it when you say it, yeah, I already know. I know that you need me, I know. But I like it when you say it.
Okay.
But I like it when you say it. I know, but I like it when you say it. For a moment, for a second, my defenses are defenseless, and you're in my ear. And I think I might as well be touching heaven when you tell me what I wanna hear. So don't you make me read your mind. Open your lips and press rewind. I wanna
Okay.
feel your body closer while you tell me one more time. Yeah, I already know. I know that you love me, I know. But I like it when you say it, yeah, I
Okay.
already know. I know that you need me, I know. But I like it when you say it. I know, but I like it when you say it. I know, but I like it when you say it.
That was a good song too. I wish these were just a tad bit longer. Like that's literally my only complaint. Is I wish these songs were a little bit longer, especially the past two, because I did like it. Um, and I like my songs like around 3 minutes. Like that's the perfect length for me, to be honest, especially with pop songs. Or in this case, the pop, dance, housey, funk, a little bit, electronic songs. Um, but yeah, say it. For me, this one also got me in my thoughts a little bit. This one maybe doesn't seem. I feel like on the surface level, it doesn't seem as deep as some of the past ones, like especially Sorry to Myself, and Here All Night. But like, I feel like it's also what you make it as well. And Say It, to me, it was just kind of like it just put me in the thought of like, I like when the people I love or the people I care for tell me these reassuring things when they say it. That's just where that's just where I took it. And I feel like that's kind of what she is portraying in the song. Um, but yeah, I really wasn't expecting this album to get as deep. It's literally called "It's Not That Deep," but it is. It really is deep. And also, like I said, it is where you take it. It's that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, say it. Let's shout it out. Like, if you're holding something back, and like whether it's your voice, your move, your kind of truth, just say it. That's also what I took from it. Uh, this song right here is kind of that cue. Say it. You know what I mean? And obviously, like I said, the music is what you make of it. That's just what I take away. Um, I don't know. It this has been really good, really good. There's these moments of like, intimacy, the private thoughts, uh, the heart on your sleeve. But then there's these upbeat moments where it's fast, fun, and it sounds good all at the same time. So it has a little bit of everything that I kind of like. And Say It is no different. Say It is really no different. I just do wish it was a tad bit longer. I mean, if that's my biggest complaint, a round of applause to you, Demi Lovato. You have done really well so far, especially for a comeback album. Especially for a comeback album. Uh, yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm very pleasantly surprised. It is, like I said, it's giving Addison vibes in like a different way. Just not what I was expecting. Uh, and it's been good. It's been pretty good. I will definitely be re-listening to this afterwards. This is an album I will listen to again. Anyways, song 9 in my head.
The way that I can twist every word, every story, and turn you into the hero. I'll make you the guy who gets the girl and the glory. Yeah, I should be a doctor. The way that I keep stitching myself back up before you even get to reload. I bet I'll be back in your bed by tomorrow. I could be everything I'm not, could play every single part, and just call it whatever. I could do every single job, give you everything you want, and you still look for something better. And I try to get you off my mind, but you're still in my head, always in my head, and I can't help but think about the life I live if I could just get over this.
This is true.
If this was a movie, you'd be on the screen, and even if you were mean, it would sound so poetic. They would be applauding before they got to the credits. Yeah, you should be an actor. The way you're making a scene and how you make me believe every word, every sentence.
Damn.
You don't have to say it, I know that I sound pathetic. I could be everything I'm not, could play every single part, and you still call it whatever.
Damn.
I could do every single job, give you everything you want, and you still look for something better. And I try to get you off my mind, but you're still in my head, always in my head, and I can't help but think about the life I live if I could just get over this.
Damn.
You're still in my and I can't help but think about the life I live if I could just get over this. You're still in my
Damn. In my head. This one honestly hit really close to home. This one put me in my own personal thoughts. Yeah, I relate to this one heavily, I feel like. I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar with me, I had something where someone was unfaithful to me, and this is kind of right before I started my channel. Who knows if I'd be here currently if I was still with this lady, but I was done wrong in a way, and I'm not really gonna get into it, but I mean, I guess you guys can probably tell, especially with related to this song. I was done poorly, even though I felt like I was giving my all, this and that. Yeah, she's still in my head. It's something I am not over, and this is 10 months ago. 8 months ago, 9 months ago. And it's just, something I still think back on. What could I have done better? I could have done everything, and, maybe this would have still happened. Maybe it wouldn't have. Just still living in my head rent free. Yeah, I mean, this one, obviously, like the title implies, really put me in my own head. A little internal world, the thoughts, maybe a little bit of dreams, my doubts. But alongside the beat, it just kind of reminds me personally of, getting stuck up on something that you shouldn't be, you know, and this, whole world, you might be living in it, but, it can still be real in your head too, not just out there. And it's what you kind of do with yourself to move on. That's just where I took it, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be as wrapped up in my head. And it sucks. I feel for everyone who, relates to the song. It sucks. It really, really does. But, I don't know. I don't know where my life would be currently if I could just get over this. That's a real line. This is a bar. Still in my head, and I don't know why. But yeah, Demi, you're impressing me. You've really done well here. I like this a lot. This is one of my favorite albums I've listened to this year, to be honest. Just because it's a little bit of everything. It's not, the greatest album I've ever heard, I'll be honest. But with that being said, I think sonically it sounds great. I think there's, the way too relatable moments, unfortunately. And, it's just kind of everything I like in my music. It's relatable. It sounds good. It's upbeat, fast, fun all at the same time, even though there are these kind of elements of, these emotional elements. It just really makes me relate to the music. Unfortunately, like, I wish I didn't relate to any of this, but that's just where we are. But yeah, this has been a great album so far. I'm not gonna lie, a sleeper pick. I was not expecting this from Demi Lovato, especially for a little hiatus she had. But yeah, in my head, great song. On to song 9, right? Kiss.
I kiss for fun. It's fun to kiss. I use my tongue like this.
Okay.
Like this. Kiss me like one of your French girls, like one of your bad boys. Just tie me up and twist me like eating a cherry. Don't care that I barely even know you. It's not that deep unless you want it to be. I'll take the stick and drive it manually. What's the point of all the space in between? My lips, your lips, take me to the chorus. I kiss for fun. It's fun to kiss. I use my tongue like this. I kiss for fun. It's fun to kiss. I use my tongue like this. Like what? Like this. Like what? Like this. Kiss me. The slower the motion, the wetter the ocean. I'll keep you real busy.
Okay.
Drop down, give me 7 minutes up in heaven. No, it's not that deep unless you want it to be. I'll take the stick and drive it manually. What's the point of all the space in between? My lips, your lips, take me to the chorus. We should make out, right? I kiss for fun. It's fun to kiss. I use my tongue like this. I kiss for fun. It's fun to kiss. I use my tongue like this. Like what? Like this. Like what? Like this. Like what? Like this. Like what?
Okay.
Like this. Like what? Like this. Like what? Like this.
Okay. Kiss. It. I mean, it's just. a little empty for me. That one was just kind of different. And I'm not necessarily mad at it. Now we're just kind of flirting. Uh, I feel like actually, in the sense of this album, it's kind of the boldness after the heartbreak. Kind of moving on from these heartfelt emotions, and maybe we'll see that throughout the last couple songs, the last remaining songs. Maybe it just transforms from this kind of deeper, heartfelt, kind of emotionally charged start, and then it really does go into the kind of it's not that deep moment where she's kind of over this, or moved on. So I don't know. I'll just have to listen to the rest of the songs and see how it builds. But like, that wasn't my. I mean, that was probably my least favorite song, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of those overly portraying songs, but like, I'm not mad at it. For having me if this album is going like how I just said, I'm not mad at the sexy confidence, being alive kind of thing, big vibes, like feeling yourself, so I'm not necessarily mad at it, but like sonically it just isn't my absolute favorite. But like I said, if it does, if the album continues on from this point, into kind of something else, I'm not mad necessarily. I'm not mad at all, but like, I'm not mad at it. And after what she's kind of displayed, like, good, like I'm happy for you, that you feel this way. Like, as much as like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, if you understand what I'm saying, you understand. To be honest, yeah, I'm not necessarily mad. But yeah, I mean, it's just sonically, like, if I was listening to that on its own without listening to this whole album, it just wouldn't be like, it's just not really my style of music. It I don't know. There's just something about it to me that's just like, I don't know. And I'm all for people being strong in their bodies and their sexual activity, if you will. But and I mean, just being confident, that's obviously a good thing, right? It's just kind of, to give context, like, I mean, I grew up, I'm the oldest family in a Catholic household, conservative household. Take that as you will. And conservative in the sense of like, conserve to ourselves. You know what? Sorry, but that just kind of to paint the scene. So I'm not really used to kind of the outgoingness, if you will, of that. Obviously, except as I've grown into my latter years of my life so far. But I don't know. Like, from what we heard, it's just a little more empty. I feel like it's more that kind of hookup-y culture thing. And maybe it's with the person she loves. I don't know the whole scene, but it's just not the style of music I typically tend to like rave about. But yeah, anyways, let's get into the end, because I want to see how it goes from here. Just if that was like a kind of a shifting point, getting the confidence back after all these the rougher edges that we've heard throughout the start. But let's see, because I don't know. Before I Knew You, song 10. Okay.
I tried so hard to be somebody else. You liked me small enough to fit on your shelf. What a pro, selling me jealousy. What a fool that you made out of me. Oh, I missed it.
real. Okay, before I knew you. Yeah, I mean, this song is just kind of real. I feel like the lyrics kind of speak for themselves at this, like, throughout the song. Before I knew you, a little kind of throwback reflection track. What life was like before, someone in this case, or, something. I mean, obviously, like I've said before, the music is how you take it. But I mean, she's kind of, alluding to life before someone. Um, but it's this one's still kind of wrapped in that playful, joyful kind of energy that we've seen throughout the album as well. One you're still bumping your head to, nodding along to. But I've just really been taking it all in. I've been trying to appreciate every single aspect of this album. And this one, especially after coming from the last, I like this one a lot. It's relatable. I kind of opened up to you guys a little bit. So obviously those of you who've made it this far into the video know kind of what I'm talking about. When I say this, yeah, like, this is a relatable theme. Before I knew you, or before this something happened. It's relatable all in its own ways. And that's just the appeal of this album to me. Is Demi Lovato has been very, admirable in the sense that she's made music that everyone can relate to. There's a song everyone can relate to in here, all while being fresh, fun, new, and kind of a different route from what we've heard. But yeah, I mean, the song kind of speaks for itself, right? You know, what changed? Why did I let this person kind of, change me? And I wish, I was still my old self. That's just how I think of it. Why, not to victimize myself, but why me a little bit? You know, it is tough. It is tough. This is one that's, really thought provoking, rough around the edges when you really, think back to it and, think through it. Why do we let this happen to ourselves? Who knows? Who knows? Am I right? But anyways, I believe we're on to our final song. Go. Yes, we are on our final song.
You and me, I hope we're falling for eternity. Heavenly, hold me and promise that you'll never leave. The one thing that I'm scared of is that your love could be temporary. I could die just looking at you. But if you go before I do, I hope you flicker the lights and send a chill down my spine. So cold, wanna be haunted for life by your ghost.
Damn.
If you're not here by my side, just show me some kind of sign that you're close. Wanna be haunted for life by your ghost.
Damn.
I have a tendency to dwell on all the darkest possibilities. No guarantee that we'll wake up together when we fall asleep. The one thing that I'm scared of is that your love could be temporary.
Damn.
I could die just looking at you. But if you go before I do, I hope you flicker the
Damn.
And send a chill down my spine, so cold. Wanna be haunted for life by your ghost. If you're not here by my side, just show me some kind of sign that you're close. Wanna be haunted for life by your ghost. Whoa, and if I am the first one to go, whoa, you know I never leave you alone. So baby, don't leave me alone. I hope you flicker the lights and send a chill down my spine, so cold. Wanna be haunted for life by your ghost. If you're not here by my side, just show me some kind of sign that you're close. Wanna be haunted for life by your ghost.
Oh. Damn. Look at this kid staring at us. Damn. Ghost. The final song off It's Not That Deep by Demi Lovato. Yeah, I mean, it kind of opened up right with it right away. I want to be haunted for life by your ghost, something along those lines. Is it not right there? Oh, want to be haunted for life by your ghost. Oh, I was right. I did not see it right there. Yeah, I mean that line right there kind of perfectly wraps up this song. Gave me chills, to be honest. I feel like she ended this project perfectly. This song was great. It was very minimalistic and just simplistic from what we have heard in sense of production and the instrumental. Even though this project's called It's Not That Deep, I mean it is. This track kind of shows that. It just dug into our emotions without kind of losing that kind of sleek pop sound that Demi Lovato is known for in her music. While encapsulating these deep feelings. And Ghost, I mean, that was a great song. That was a really good song. She's saying like, yeah, I've moved on, but the memories still dancing around in the background. That's kind of how I took it. And yeah, I mean, that was a great closer, man. I'm not gonna lie. Big shout out to Demi for wrapping it up with a little bit of nostalgic too. I feel like that's kind of more similar to her sound I'm familiar with, especially in the sense of this album. And also has that kind of lightness to it as well. Maybe that was the not lack of production, but the more simplistic side that added on to that. But yeah, Ghost, great ending. I feel like it just kind of wraps up everything into one, everything we've heard. But yeah, damn. That was It's Not That Deep by Demi Lovato. It's crazy because it was that deep. It was like, I was not like, it's literally called It's Not That Deep, and I was expecting it to not be that deep. I thought it was just gonna be some pop songs, and especially at the start with Fast, where it was like super upbeat, energetic. I was like, okay, this is just gonna be like a fun little dance pop album. But it was not anything but, because it was all at the same time. But it has those emotions, those heartstrings attached. And yeah, I mean the title says it all, but not at the same time. I feel like in the sense of the album name, it's not like her trying to weigh us down, but it's like her time to breathe, if that makes sense. Because I mean it's a dance album as well. it, it's hard. It's hard because it really is deep. It is deep. It's a little. It, it, I don't know. Maybe it's a metaphor. I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it a little too unliteral. I don't know. She just kind of has my head all boggled, running me through a loop, like I've said. Um, it's maybe, I don't know, because it is super upbeat, fast. It is a little lighter in that sense, especially with the production. I found myself nodding my head, bumping my head to, her going, I want your ghost to haunt me for life. And like, it's just, it's a little ironic. That's the word. It's just, it took me a while to come up with the word ironic. That was not my proudest moment. Now that I'm like finally finding the word, but like a song like "Sorry to Myself," which I think is my favorite so far. You know, where she's talking about she could point fingers every which way, but it's all on her at the end of the day. And it was like I could be all of this and then some, and you would still find better. Like it is that deep. I don't know. She's running with that emotion all at the same time. So yeah, it definitely is super ironic. It is that deep. And Demi, you did very well here. I'm not gonna lie. I've never really listened to an album before, and no shade, obviously, because this was a lot of fun. Um, and it was, heartfelt all at the same time. Yeah, um, I'm glad. I'm glad I listened to this. I seriously am glad. This adds a new layer to Demi Lovato I've never really seen before, and all at the same time of this album being fun, it's super real. It's super real, and there's something in here everyone can relate to in one way or another. Um, all kind of encapsulating, different, signs of or styles of heartbreak or vulnerability or sadness. There, it's just very well done, in my opinion. I think this album was very well done, and it was only 33 minutes, under 33 minutes, and we've been here for an hour and five. Uh, so maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit, Um, but yeah, that's just how I took it. And I mean, I want to be haunted by your ghost for life. Ghost. I mean, that was kind of just a full circle moment. I feel like she's not kind of running from the emotion we heard in some songs. She's kind of owning it and like being like, yeah, this is a part of me. Um, but yeah, it's not that deep. This is a good album. I like this a lot. And I think I have to give my favorites to "Sorry to Myself." Ooh, "In My Head," and then "Here All Night." I think they're all kind of different in their own ways that kind of differentiate from one another, but they all have combining themes. Um, and I think they're just three fantastic songs, and I think any of these songs are good. All of them are good. Uh, Kiss was not my favorite. I won't lie, Kiss was not my favorite, but that doesn't take away from the album either. But yeah, I wish some of these songs were longer too. That's really my biggest critique. Uh, you know, beggars can't be choosers, obviously. Um, so I'm not too mad at it. But like 32 minutes, come on, Debbie, you could, you know what I mean. That's under 3 minutes for every song, but I'm not mad. It was a fun album. It was a good album, and it put me in my own head. So yeah, thank you, Demi, for this. I'm not gonna lie, this was a breath of fresh air. I was not expecting where we went. Um, but yeah, anyways, if you guys did enjoy, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want more Demi Lovato, let me know in the comments. But yeah, it's not that deep. But was it really not that deep? But anyways, thank you guys for being here and watching until the end. If you did make it this far, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And drop some more recommendations in the comments. Thank you, Demi Lovato, for this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Deuces. Deuces. Deuces.